And now, your host, Checkers the Inventor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Checkers Library TV. We are so thrilled to have you here for this, the very first show in our entire school season. We can't wait to get started. But before I go any further, I do have to introduce you to our friend, my robot pal. His name is Snoozer.
Whoa! I'm here! Hey, Checkers, can we watch that video?
That is a good idea, Snoozer. I hadn't thought of that yet, but a lot of you watching us have never seen Checkers or Snoozer before. So that might be a great idea. Right now, we are going to play a little bit of a background video on Checkers, Snoozer, and everything we're doing here on Library TV. Enjoy it. We're going to start that video right now. When I was growing up, two of the things I loved most was reading and using my imagination. There I am reading with my sister. My mom was a teacher. My dad had some boring job, but his hobby was being a magician. He even let me, my brother, and my sister be assistants in his magic shows. And that right there is my very first appearance in one of his magic videos. Oh, and there I am dressed as a tiger. That was in one of his magic shows. When I was in 3rd grade, my brother and I entered a talent show. My mom let me borrow this old pair of pants in the attic, and that is how I became Checkers, the clown. At first, I performed as a clown with my brother. The talent show was the first time my brother and I performed together by ourselves. We practiced this for a long time, and when I was 13 years old, we started our own business, Charlie and Checkers. My brother was Charlie. And everything changed when we were asked to perform for a library. This was so exciting because we could be a part of making reading and learning fun. We created a show just for libraries, and we got better and better at it and practiced until one day we were invited to perform at the White House. That's where the president lives. We were there for the annual White House Easter egg roll. We performed in front of over 30,000 guests from across the United States. We got to meet NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal, First Lady Michelle Obama, and all sorts of other families. It was an amazing experience, and we were even invited back twice. Eventually, I decided not to be a clown anymore, and I just went back to being myself. Shortly after the White House, I was selected as one of the top 5 young entrepreneurs in America, and I got to go back to Washington to accept my award. My brother decided that he wanted to be a doctor, so he went off to medical school, and I started my very own show. I wanted to build something new and really use my imagination. And that's where I came up with Checkers the Inventor. I started building my own inventions and machines, and I was going to college. I was also starting to do new things like create online videos. My videos got really popular across the whole world. I got over 6 million views on YouTube. And when I graduated college, I started a new company, School Programs USA East Coast. We provide high-energy educational presentations and performances that make student learning fun. That same year, I also published my very first book, Checkers and Snoozer, Snoozer's Science Adventure, a book I co-authored with Rachel D'Annunzio. It's all about my trip with Snoozer to a science museum. For the first time, I had my own book available in libraries. And now I am back with a brand new show, Checkers Library TV, and I couldn't be more excited about it. Wow, we really have been on a lot of fun adventures, and we can't wait to go on more adventures with you guys right here on Checkers Library TV. Well, this is the part of the show where we talk about things that we are celebrating for this whole month of September. Now, first and foremost, I hope everyone's having a great time going back to school. This is back to school month, so that's a really great time here. It's exciting. We might be going to school from home right now. We might be going to school online. We might be going to school actually getting to go in the school. So there's different ways people are going to school right now. But anytime you're going to school, I hope you guys are having a great back to school season. That is really important, and it's really exciting as we get into this school season. Now, another thing we love to do at the beginning of the month is talk about things we're celebrating, including birthdays. So who is celebrating a birthday in the month of September? If you are, happy birthday from everyone here at Checkers Library TV.
What are we celebrating today?
Well, Snoozer, I'm glad you asked because the entire month of September is Library Card Sign Up Month. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means this whole month is dedicated to getting kids, families, everyone excited about signing up for their library card so they can check out books at the library whenever they want. That is so great. You'll have a library card wherever you take it. You can take it with you, take it to the library, check out books, check out movies, whatever you guys are in the mood for. You can do that all day, every day, and it's really important. So this whole month, don't let it go to waste. Make sure you're getting your own library card. Telling your friends, your mom, your dad, everyone about it. Make sure you're getting the word out so everyone is going to the library and signing up for their library card if they haven't done so yet. So that's really great and really important. We are also celebrating with the honorary chairperson who is Wonder Woman. That's exciting. Everyone loves Wonder Woman, so you can celebrate this with Wonder Woman and do what Wonder Woman would do and check out a book at the library and get your library card. Really, really great thing to do. All right, well, another thing happening this month is awesome, which is National Honey Month. So National Honey Month is celebrating the action of taking care of bees, owning your own beekeeping facility, making honey with bees. See, the honey that the bees make is a natural sweetener. So everyone likes to celebrate that because honey is much better for us than certain kinds of sugar and added sugars and different flavors that people put in their drinks, people will put in their foods. Honey is very natural. It comes from bees. Of course, we actually met somebody on Let's Get to Know a few months ago on Checkers Library TV who told us all about her own facility where she raises bees, they create honey, and she packages up her own honey. And it was a really, really great time learning more about bees and how important they are. So this is also a month to reflect on how important bees are. So you can learn about them, learn a little bit more about honey. Great thing to do. So make sure we talk about that. This is National Honey Month. Now, the month of September is also Read a New Book Month, and that means we want to really take ourselves out of our everyday lives and read a book we've never read before, a new book. And it's a great time to experiencing new things, to experience new cultures, new authors, maybe an author we've never read a book by before. That's a great thing to do. And it also could be a time where you read a book about honey or Wonder Woman, things we just talked about. That could be a great thing to do. And also, you might want to trade books with your friends. Make it a group activity. You can trade books with your family or friends. They can give you a book, you can give them a book, and you'll get to experience something new. Maybe something you've never read before, which is the whole point of the month. So that is awesome. This entire month, we can read a new book. Well, this is our first show of the entire school season, so we have a lot of great stuff coming to you guys. First, we're going to have Mrs. Hamilton coming a little bit later with Storytime Theater, reading you guys a book. Dr. Dan, my friend Dr. Dan's got a health tip of the month. Something really important he wants you guys to take care of and consider all month long. Snoozer's going to be back here with a joke of the week. I'm going to talk about some books to recommend that I think will be really cool. We might even talk about someone who loves honey, celebrating National Honey Month. And I have a lot of other surprises. We're meeting a special guest here on Let's Get to Know. We're getting to know a new person. I'm not going to tell you what they do yet. You're going to learn more about that a little bit later. And there's going to be a whole bunch more. By the way, if you're someone who's been with us during our summer show and you've seen some of our episodes, seen some of the shows we've done, we are going to do something today that you may have seen before. We're talking about stop motion animation. And we're doing that today so everyone knows what stop motion animation is, because I might a little bit later in the season, maybe another month, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So it's really important that we teach people what that is. So don't worry if you see something you may have seen before, that's why. But I hope you guys stick with us because we'll check back with you later right here on Checkers Library TV.
Did you know? Over 78 million kids, teens, and adults enroll in school each year. In California, 45% of kids enrolled in school speak something other than English at home. 67% of kids like school. That's it! Unbelievable! I love school! Indiana has 9 of the 10 largest high school gyms in America. The library has tons of books about school. Visit the library to learn more.
Welcome to Let's Get to Know. This is the part of the show where we go out into the community. We meet some really cool people and we learn more about them and their story. Today's extra special because we're getting to know someone named Tom Rosenecker, who owns his own company that sells playground equipment, and they sell play sets. Those cool things that are in your backyard. You got your slides, your swing sets. Some of them are in the shape of different things like pirate ships. They sell that kind of stuff. It is fantastic. We can't wait to get to know Tom. So that's why I brought my transporting microphone. Here we go. We are going to meet Tom Rosenecker. Wow, we made it! All right, well, let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. Let's get to know Tom, the owner of American Eagle Fireplace and Play Sets. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Awesome to have you here. We're really excited. You've got a lot of cool stuff out here. What are all these things behind me? What are these called?
So these are outdoor playgrounds that we put in customers' backyards, mostly in residential backyards. So little kids can come home from school each day and go outside, get some exercise, and kind of create their own little fun playhouse in a variety of different ways.
That's fantastic. So you guys put these all together for them? We get them all set to go?
We do, yeah. We'll work with the parents and in a lot of cases the kids as well. We'll take the ideas, we'll get an idea of what they like, the different features that they like on a play set. We'll customize it for them, and then we send it off to the manufacturer to have it customized specifically for their backyard and for their desire.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I've always loved these playgrounds, and I've loved visiting my friends who've had them too. And it's cool to see where they come from. Yeah, it's great, and it's also cool to see, the family bring it home and just have a great time with them, and there's just so much to do. You've got so many features. You got the slides, you got the monkey bars, all sorts of great stuff.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best part of my job. There's a lot of different aspects when you own your own business, but dealing with families, especially with the younger kids, it's a happy time. They're adding something to their backyard that will create family memories for years. I remember with my kids growing up and the playgrounds that they used to play on, they still talk about it now, and it's 20 years later. So we know that we're doing that for families in our local community, and to be able to sit down with them, design something that we know is going to make lasting memories for them is really something that's special for us.
I completely agree. Yeah, a lot of great memories that we can make with these. So you guys also make fireplaces, is that correct?
We do. Well, we don't make them, but we install them.
You install them for people,
we install them for people. So when they want to convert from wood burning over to gas, simple push of a button and get a fire and get some heat, that's a solution that they can come to us for. And again, we work throughout all of Western New York. We've been doing it for 40 years now. So we've got a great variety of products available. We've got all of our full-time staff will do the installations themselves. So we don't subcontract that out to anybody. So we do it from start to finish and really create a new look inside the home for a customer.
So you guys are all about, creating new looks and creating updates to people's house and making their whole, the whole yard and their whole house so much cooler and more fun.
I like to say that it's a fun purchase,
right,
for a customer. The products that we sell, they're more on the expensive side. It's not something you go out and do, every year,
right?
But more like once a lifetime. And but the products that we sell are going to last a lifetime, and they're going to create a memory for whether it's sitting in front of the fire during the holiday season or playing on the playgrounds when the weather breaks and getting a lot of fun and use out of it. It's nice to be able to interact with families during a happy purchase.
Right. All right, well, Tom, we do have something really important now. These are the 7 quick questions. Are you ready to go? All right, first question. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food is definitely stuffed hot peppers.
All right, favorite sport?
Favorite sport's got to be baseball.
Favorite place to read?
Oh boy, I'd say in bed.
Okay. What do you like better, coffee or ice cream?
I'd say coffee ice cream, but that's not my favorite flavor, so I'll say ice cream.
All right, completely different things there. Cats or dogs?
Dogs, definitely
All right.
dogs, yep.
What is your favorite feature on a playset? Favorite thing about it?
The tall, fast slides. You think the kids are going to love it most, then you see the parents and the adults go down, or myself, and it is a blast. You can't help but come down there with just a huge smile on your face.
Oh, awesome. All right, last question. What is one thing about you that we don't know?
As a company, we like to give back to the community that supports us. And so probably the absolute best part of my job is dealing with an organization called Make-A-Wish. And we help grant wishes to kids throughout Western New York, kids who are having challenges medically, and their wish is to have a playground in their backyard. And us being able to sit down with the child and the family and take what their dream is and turn it into a reality into their backyard, it is the highlight of my summer every year.
That's unbelievable. So you guys are really helping people in need and giving back to the community.
Yeah, it's a great aspect of our job, and we're very grateful for the relationship we have with Make-A-Wish.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, Tom. It was really, really cool getting to know you and learning more about what you do, and we appreciate it. And we will have another special guest here next time on Let's Get to Know.
If you would like to email Checkers and Snoozer, send your emails to checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. We always look forward to hearing from you.
Boys and girls, the story I'm going to be reading to you today is called Words Are Not for Hurting, and the author is Elizabeth Furtick. Did you know it takes only 26 letters to make millions of words? Words help you say lots of important things like, I love you. Thank you for helping me. You're welcome. Sometimes your words are loud. Ready or not, here I come. And sometimes your words are soft. Shh. Sometimes your words are funny. Knock, knock. Who's there? Sometimes you even sing them. La 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 la. Your words belong to you. You choose what to say and how to say it. Your words can hurt or your words can help. These are helpful words. Let's all work together. Do you want to share this with me? I'm glad we're friends. We can take turns. These are hurtful words. You can't play with us. Your clothes are ugly. You're stupid. Get out of here. Oh. Words are not for hurting. When you hear hurtful words, how do you feel? Maybe sad, mad, scared, mixed up, left out, or lots of other feelings too. When you say hurtful words, how do you feel? Maybe you feel sorry and wish you hadn't said them. There's something you can do. You can take them back, like this. I shouldn't have said those things. I didn't mean it. I wonder what Mr. Cat is thinking. Here are 2 other words you can say. I'm sorry. Those 2 little words can be a big help. When you hear hurtful words, what can you do? You can say, words are not for hurting. Please don't say those things. Or you can tell a grown-up, he's teasing me. Can you help? Your words are important. If you think before you speak, you can use your words well. It takes only 26 letters to make millions of words. So, you've got lots of words to choose from. You can tell this to yourself and to others. Words are not for hurting. It's a good reminder for everyone. Woof! Well, that's a good book. It's a good reminder as we head back to school and head back to our season of fall where we might be starting some new activities. So try and use your words in kind ways and try not to use words to hurt others. I will see you next time on Storytime Theater.
And now, the question of the month. What do you like best about school?
My favorite part about school is going on the computer, learning new technology. Whee! Yay! My favorite thing at school is making a lot of friends. My favorite thing in school is doing arts and What I love about going to school is learning new things every day and seeing all my friends and my teachers.
Thanks for joining us for the question of the month.
Welcome to Art Project, and this is going to be kind of cool. We're at a different spot this time. You're in my Checkers computer area. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today is called stop motion animation. Now, I've mentioned animation a few times on this show, but today's interesting because stop motion animation is a kind of animation that you can do right from home. It's something you can use to get started in. You can get really good on it. There's people in the internet who are amazing at stop motion animation. So the more you practice it, the better you will get at it. But I'm going to talk a little bit about it now. Animation has been around for a while, and so has stop motion animation. If you think about whenever you see a movie with a big monster, a dragon, anything like that, today they use computers to make that in movies. But back in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way up until the early 1990s, there wasn't a lot of computer animation in films. Really until the film Toy Story, when a full film could be made with computers, there had to be different ways to create animation. So there were entire films that were made out of stop motion animation. But in the early days of film, there were creatures, like I said, dragons or monsters or things like King Kong were made using stop motion animation. And they made these puppets, they were called armatures, and they would build these creations where you could move their different body parts. And how stop motion works is you take a picture of something. So if you have something like this guy right here, I'm going to put him down on this stool here. Now if I want to animate this character, what I'm going to do is take a picture of it, right? That's what stop motion animation is. You take a picture of something and then you move it ever so slightly, and you take another picture. And when you string all those pictures together, what you'll have is a finished piece of animation. It creates the illusion that this little figure is moving across this stool here. So let me show you what an animated creation of this looks like. It's going to be real quick. Watch this. So I took a bunch of photos and I put them together, and it looked like my little knight was moving across the stool. Now, if you want to create a stop motion creation like this, you can get better at it. You can use anything you want though. You can use something you find around the house, like a building block. You could use you could use your own phone. You could use your hand even, but that would be kind of tricky. You can really use whatever you want. A lot of people like to start with simple things like a ball or like a block or one of their toys, anything like that. And when you get better and better at it, if you really want to get great at it, you could even create those armatures that I was talking about, like they use for King Kong, where you can build little puppets that you can move around so you can have their fingers move, their arms move. Look on the internet at some of the things that people have made. It's really, really quite amazing what you see people can create and animate with. But you can start right from home, even with a camera you have lying around the house. All you'll need is a camera. You'll need something to move and animate with. Those are the two things you'll need. If you want to get better at it, you can add some lighting. But here's how it works with the camera. All you need to make sure you have is a camera, and you gotta make sure that camera stays completely still, because if you're moving your camera around even on your phone, it's gonna mess with the animation. So even if you have something simple like a tripod like this, you can put your phone right in, because everyone has phones pretty much. Your parents will have a phone. You might even have a phone yourself. All their phones have is a camera on them. So you've got your camera, get it nice and still in something like this tripod here. Let me get that all set. As you can see, right there. And now you are ready to animate. So you're gonna get it set like this on your photo setting, and then you'll take a picture. You'll move it a little bit, take a picture. Move your object a little bit more, take a picture. Now the only problem with this is it could be really boring to be sitting there moving things around and taking pictures. But if you love what you're doing, you'll have a lot of fun with it. Now, one of my favorite things in my life to do is to see my finished project come together. So you work really hard on it, you're taking pictures, moving things, and then when you get to watch that finished creation, that is the best part. So if you can stick it out through then, it's really great to see how it all comes together. Tedious process though. Tedious, that means that, it takes a long time. It's kind of boring and slow, but it's a lot of work, all for a great cause. So if you want to learn more about animation, see if your library has a book on stop motion animation. They can tell you some techniques and things that I don't even know about yet, because I still have to learn just like you guys. Definitely check out stop motion animation. Thank you so much for joining us for a very interesting and unique art project, and we can't wait to see you next time.
And now it's time for
The joke of the week. On a scale of 1 to 10, how obsessed was a library with Harry Potter? 9 3/4. Nailed it!
To Checkers Loves Books. This is the part of the show where I recommend books that I think you should be reading. And we have books for younger readers, and we have books for older readers. And every time we talk about those books, and today we're going to start with the younger readers, we have the Jack and the Beanstalk books. Now I say Jack and the Beanstalk books because even though the Jack and the Beanstalk tale has been told many times over many generations, there are different versions of those stories. There's some stories where you have the normal Jack and the Beanstalk, you'll have Mickey and the Beanstalk, sometimes they'll change the character out. Sometimes you'll read this story and it'll be a little bit different than you've imagined. So we're talking about the whole series of Jack and the Beanstalk books. Now, I've always loved the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. It really captured my imagination when I was younger. You have this boy named Jack who goes off. His family's very poor. They need money. He's selling the family cow just to get any money and food for the family. But Jack ends up trading the cow in for what he calls magic beans. And we don't know what that means until we find out that those magic beans turn into a giant beanstalk that grows right out of Jack's yard. And his mom's very upset in most versions of the story. But we end up finding out that that beanstalk goes all the way up into the sky. And Jack climbs the beanstalk only to find a giant at the top who lives in a castle. Now, I'm not going to tell you everything that happens in this story because if you haven't read it yet, it's a great story that's been around for many generations. So I want you to kind of experience it for the first time. But one other cool thing I talked about is there are so many different versions of Jack and the Beanstalk. So I kind of have a couple of favorites. I always loved Mickey and the Beanstalk because it wasn't just a book, but it was also a movie. And I was able to watch this story come out in an animated form. And I also enjoyed reading the book, which is right here. I really like this version and I really like this version. So these are kind of my favorite versions of the story just because of the illustrations and the artwork. They all kind of had their own flair and they all looked a little bit different. And I always enjoyed going through the books, finding what the similarities were and the differences. That's another thing you can do just to have fun with that. You can read the different versions. So we have the Jack and the Beanstalk books for the younger readers. And for the older readers, we have the Winnie the Pooh book series. Now this is a classic story. You've got Winnie the Pooh, all of his friends. There's Piglet, Tigger. I know everyone's a fan of Tigger. There is Kangaroo, you've got Eeyore, you've also got the character of Rabbit, and you've got Owl, and of course there is the real person named Christopher Robin, who is sort of based on a real life person. The author of the books, which his name was Alan Alexander Milne, and Christopher Robin was the author's real life son, and he had stuffed animals, and he had a teddy bear, which was the idea for Winnie the Pooh. So it was sort of based on the adventures of this boy. He had all these different stuffed animals, and that's kind of what led the father to write this book series. But it is another classic, as I mentioned. Everyone knows about Winnie the Pooh. Also due to the Disney animated cartoons and movies and the shows they've had with this character. So a lot of people have heard of Winnie the Pooh in different ways, and that is why it's always good to go back to the original stories about this character. So what are some things I like about this book series? Well, I really like how the characters interact with each other. They all have their different personalities. Of course, Winnie the Pooh is a kind character, but he really likes honey, and that's something that creates a lot of humor in the stories. Then you've got Eeyore, who's very upset and sad all the time, and you like to see how the characters work off each other and how they talk to each other. I really like how the dialogue works in this series of books. These are sometimes a little bit longer, so that's why I put them for the older readers. When you can read these books by yourself, they're a great thing to check out, a great piece of history. So we have the Winnie the Pooh books for the older readers, and for the younger readers, we have the Jack and the Beanstalk book. So definitely check these books out at the library and have a great time reading them. We'll have more books to talk about next time, right here on Checkers Loves Books.
Would you like the chance to have your very own keepsake of Checkers and Snoozer in your home? Now you can have your own Checkers and Snoozer books or your own Snoozer plush toy. Excellent for birthdays, holiday presents, special achievements, or just to have the fun of Checkers and Snoozer in your family's home. Order yours today at www.checkerstheinventor.com store.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Dan. Welcome to another exciting season of Checkers Library TV. I am so happy to be with you, and let's get started. Now, September is back to school month, of course. Some of us are going to be going back to the classroom into the schools, while some of us are still going to be learning at home on the computer. Now, either one you're doing, it's still very important to start strong and have a great year. So today, we're going to be talking about 3 tips for having a great school year. Number 1 is getting a good night's sleep. Getting a good night's sleep is super important. It makes us start fresh in the day and have energy all the way till the end. It's great for reading, for studying, for staying focused. We always have to make sure we get enough sleep. In fact, a very famous person once said the following phrase: early to bed and early to rise makes someone healthy, wealthy, and wise. Snoozer, do you know who said that?
Benjamin Franklin?
That's right. Now, Benjamin Franklin did a lot of great things, but Snoozer, what's the one thing that comes to mind that Benjamin Franklin did?
Benjamin Franklin was one of the inventors of the library!
That's right. Benjamin Franklin invented the library. So all of the libraries we have across the country are thanks to the great work of Benjamin Franklin. Tip number 2 is eating a healthy breakfast each and every day. When we eat a healthy breakfast in the morning, we are getting our body ready for a fun day of learning, exercise, studying, anything we're going to be doing. It starts in the morning with eating a nice healthy breakfast. Some fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy protein, anything like that to really get us moving in the morning. Make sure you eat a healthy breakfast. And tip number 3, we kind of already mentioned it, is exercise. Always make sure we're getting our 1 hour of exercise each and every day to keep us healthy. All right, everyone, so let's just review a little bit. Our 3 tips for having a great school year are: number 1, getting enough sleep at night; number 2, eating a healthy breakfast each and every day; and number 3 is getting plenty of exercise, at least 1 hour each and every day. All right, everyone, I'm Dr. Dan. Let's get back to Checkers Library TV.
Checkers Library TV is made possible by libraries across America. Support your local library today. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this great show right here on Checkers Library TV. We had a ton of fun today. What a great guest Tom was. We really got to learn more about what he does, and that is so cool. Someone who sells those play sets. I've always loved those since I was little. So getting to see those up close and all the cool stuff they had, their fireplaces, that was really, really exciting. I loved it. Well, I also love Dr. Dan coming with a really important health tip of the week.
I agree with you, Checkers, 100%.
Well, we can't wait to keep going. We're going to be back next month with another brand new show. But in between that, we're going to be creating special engagement every single week. We might be doing different things every time. We could be doing a science experiment. We could be doing an art project. We could have something cool with Snoozer, something cool with Dr. Dan. It's really going to be something different every week, and you never know what we're going to do. So make sure you check back next week with your library and see what cool stuff we have planned for you. But we'll be back next month for the month of October for a full show, and we even have a special for the Halloween season. So there's going to be 2 special shows coming in October. Make sure you come back for that. We have so much cool stuff planned for you guys. Well, when we do come back, you'll see more of Dr. Dan, Mrs. Hamilton, Snoozer, of course yours truly, that is me, Checkers the Inventor, and also great guests and all sorts of amazing things we're going to be doing later in this year. We can't wait for all of it, but for now, we'll just have to see you guys later. Check back here next time, right here on Checkers Library TV.